Oh man, so Bitcoin is flat, 0.4% up. We'll take it today. And Fantom is slightly up 0.17%, a weekend market. But I have seen something critical in the Fantom chart, which just by a couple of cents gives me a bearish indication, which I have to be honest and share with you guys. Now, some of you be like, guys, do one. I have to bring you the patterns I'm seeing in the charts. That's what I'm committed to doing here. That's what I've always done. I'm not some pump boy. I hold my Fantom and I continue to hold. I make that very clear to you guys. There's no selling going on here. I continue to buy on dips. But if I see a bearish pattern, do you guys not agree that it's my duty to show you that? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what I see in the charts. Doesn't mean necessarily we're going to see lowered price targets, but I'm going to make you aware of those important levels that we could retrace to if Bitcoin shows further weakness on Monday, okay? I'm also going to show you the levels that I'd like to pick up some more and the levels I like to enter in. So make sure you stay tuned till the very end. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes and subscribe. Don't forget to check out NordVPN, who've been kind enough to offer all you guys 70% off of a 2-year plan. So that's 24 months. They actually then throw in a month for free. So you've got 25 months of coverage for about $50, guys. It's an absolute no-brainer. It works out like $2 or $3 a month to make sure that you are completely private. Online, your IP is masked. You can choose which country you're planning to come from. You can use it if you're using Netflix to get shows from different countries. You can use it to play games with people in different countries as well. Super useful to have a VPN. I always log into all my exchanges with a VPN. So let's get straight here into the charts. And what we can see here is, we'll come on to Fantom shortly and what I'm seeing, but I want to start off with Bitcoin because Bitcoin spent a couple of hours underneath 40,000. And today, even on a Saturday, it's managed to kind of run itself back up above 40. So we're seeing a battle here. And remember, weekends, we've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Low volumes, you can see the candles here, low volumes, and we get the true direction on Monday when the proper money comes in. But for now, just to get an idea, we can see we're fighting at the 40,000 mark. And we know this is an important level because if we lose it, we're going to head lower down to 39,150 and then 38,405 and then our technical price target 37,447 from our daily chart, which was the M pattern. Okay, so just to recap on that again, if you want the full details of this M pattern and what it means and my view on it, go watch my videos from yesterday specifically on Bitcoin. Okay, but in essence, you can see what we're getting here is you've got a neckline here. Okay, 41642, very important. We run up, send back down due to CPI and various other macroeconomic, including the Russia tensions. We had a brief rally back up, okay, which we know that was when we saw some de-escalation and we heard things such as, oh, Russia moving troops away. And then suddenly we heard that, no, that's not the case, okay? So we got back to the neckline at 41,600-ish, and then we broke down, okay? We broke down and we started our journey towards our price target. Now, like I said, we've got many horizontal supports here which could prop up the market. So the first one is the one we're fighting at, which is the 40,000 psychological level. We then have to look at 39,150. We then have to look at 38,405. Those are these three yellow lines here. These are critical right now, these three yellow lines, okay? Now, if we struggle to hold all of those, we can indeed be heading further down all the way to our price target. So we need to keep an eye on that. What we don't want to see happen is this, where we consolidate at one floor, break through it, consolidate another floor, break through it. That will not be great, okay? Now, longer term, even if we do meet this price target here, what's my view? Again, if you've not watched my Bitcoin video, check that out. But in essence, as long as we don't lose this level here, okay, this level here, I'm going to give you the exact number. The low of this candle was 36,259. As long as we don't create an hourly candle lower than 36,259, we'll keep the higher low, right? So as long as we turn around below it, it can even be up to like here, right? And we start working our way back up, we're good. Because we've kept the pivot point from here and we can keep at least a sideways trend going and not turn it into a downtrend. Okay, so that's really important, that 36,259. Now, obviously, if we lose that level, then we could be looking back down at levels of 32. Again, not here to fearmonger, not here to tell you that this is going to happen, but it's our duty and all the best investors will be prepared for the situation that people don't want you prepared for. Okay, so right now, everybody wants you to think everything's going long. How do I know? Let me prove it, right? I'm not going to make this stuff up. Let's look at the liquidations, right? 280 million in longs liquidated, okay? That was on the 17th of Feb, Thursday. On Friday, another 126 million, okay, longs liquidated. Today on a weekend, 70 million longs liquidated. That's a lot of money, guys, okay? You're looking at 500,000 in 3 days, including 2.5 days, including a weekend day of longs liquidated. Why? Because money's waiting on the sideline. Desperate money waiting on the sidelines to enter the market because they all want this free run all the way up to 69,000 and beyond, right? They see it as a no-brainer. It's going to happen and they want to pile in. And they're not just piling in with their cash. They're piling in with leverage. They're going 20x, 30x, 50x, 100x trade thanks to some of these careless, reckless brokerages, which allow this for newbie traders to be leveraging 100x. Absolutely crazy. This is one of the things I'm passionate about, which is letting down this market right now and the whole crypto market right now. Anyway, that's what's causing these false starts. And I've made it very clear from a market perspective. We've got CPI reading coming March 16th. I'm going to keep harping on about this because I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. We still got another 4 weeks to go, okay? March 16th, in the middle of March, we're going to get the FOMC meeting. So you can see these dotted lines here. I've had these put on this chart here. March 10th, the February CPI reading. March 16th, FOMC meeting. We're expecting our first interest rate hike. The market has probably priced in. Again, I explain this to everybody. If you've not been watching my videos through the week, guys, you really are missing out. You can check on the Fed rate monitor tool. Very important tool here. You can see the market is pricing in 0.5% hikes, and even some of the market has priced in 0.5 to 0.75%. Okay, so I'm expecting a 0.5% rate hike, and I think the market will be comfortable with that. Okay, if we see something like 0.75 and definitely one full percentage point increase, that can spook the market and I can see some downside potential from there. But until then, until the readings come out, I can expect a lot of false starts, okay? I can expect to see a lot of, a couple of green candles like we saw here, and then we get thrown back down. A couple of green candles, thrown back down. And it doesn't help that we have the Russia and Ukraine tensions right now, which has just spiked volatility. If you look at the VIX index, which is a measure of volatility, I don't know if CNBC have got, oh, they have, there you go. VIX has fallen now on the weekend, but it was hugely up yesterday in double digits, okay? So hugely up. Volatility index is showing that the market is spooked. Now, what does this mean for Fantom? Because Fantom has given us a bit of a panic point because, not a panic point, but it's given us a negative flag. And the negative flag is this. Let's pull this up as so. Now, so what happened was we have just created a lower low by ever so slightly. This was the pivot point here, created on the 14th of Feb. We did not want to break below this, okay? So we can see here, this candle was, the low point was at $1.81. This candle just wicked here a couple of hours ago. I know it's weekend volume, but still a couple of hours ago wicked to $1.80. So technically we've got, you can call it a double bottom here, okay? But also you could say that that is technically a slightly lower low, which is showing that we are in a bit of a downtrend. And the proof of that, I mean, not that we need any more proof of that, but if you look at this red pattern, look at the red line. Okay, now I want to see two things. We're on the hourly chart here, but if you look at this red line here, this was the first steep downward trend we were on thanks to Bitcoin. Okay, plenty of rejection points along this line showing that we're in a downward trend. We managed to get the breakout. We got the breakout. We entered an ascending wedge, which wasn't the best. As soon as we created this lower high, it was very likely that we were going to break to the downside. And you saw we met our technical price target right here at 194. Okay, so that was that. We knew that was going to happen. We saw that. We even said that we could end up at the bottom of the wedge. We did. Okay, we have reached all the way to the bottom of the wedge here. Now, after that, we're looking at what are the next levels. Well, you can see now what has happened is we've entered another downward trend now by the second red line. So all that's happened is this is now the resistance point that we're getting rejected at, and we're creating continuous lower highs and lower lows, which is not great at all. If I head over into the 4-hourly chart, what I do want to show you is the EMA ribbon, and we've been unable, again, we know this is because of Bitcoin. This is no indictment on Fantom or anything fundamentally wrong with Fantom. We're going to come on to that shortly. But due to Bitcoin, we've just not managed to sustain anything here. We continue to move to the downside, flicking across to the daily, and you can see this is exactly what I'm talking about. A perfect, if you're a bear, rejection from the EMA ribbon once, we try again, and a rejection. And the sad thing is here, we weren't actually that close, okay? So if we zoom in here, you can see we weren't actually that close from flipping our EMA ribbon. We got to $2.15 here. We weren't that close from getting to flip. We really needed to head much higher territories, 220 onwards, to close our daily ribbon here bullish again. Okay, so we struggled there on this recent candle here on the 17th of Feb. Now, what are we looking for from here? Well, the key thing is we need to get our game plan ready. If we think the market could potentially head down, if we could get an escalation of tensions, then what do we need to do? Well, first thing is, and I make this very clear to everybody, you should be in your high conviction plays. You should be in high conviction plays. I had to repeat that for you guys. You should only have plays in your portfolio which you can trust again at 32,000 Bitcoin. That should be your litmus test. Just emotionally go through that in your head to say, if Bitcoin over the next week, if the Russia war went all out, it was very bad, lots of countries getting involved, it really did escalate, and Bitcoin went down to 32. How do you feel? We've just had a 32k Bitcoin. So hopefully if you guys have been here for a couple of weeks or months, you will know what that felt like. And if you're holding through that, what did it feel like? Was it difficult holding even solid coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, large caps? Or how did it feel holding some of your smaller caps? Did you have any meme coins? How did you feel holding those if they were 80, 90% down? Okay, so start to go through that process and make sure you're only holding your high conviction plays. And then what I would say is, for your high conviction plays, you want to identify, let's come back here actually, you want to identify if you are overweight, underweight, or happy in that position. So if you're overweight, that means you have too much in that position, then you have a choice. You can lessen the position slightly, okay, to just get yourself at the percentage holding you want in your portfolio, so sell some off, or you can continue to hold in that position and let the rest of your portfolio grow. So only top up your other coins until it rebalances. Or if you're underweight on a coin, let's use Fantom as an example, now you want to be looking for pullbacks. And I'm going to show you the exact levels you want to be looking at for Fantom. If you've not got a position in Fantom and you want a position in Fantom, I'm going to show you those levels as well. Because here in the charts, guys, you can see the first point is a beautiful point. And anybody who's watched my videos for a while will know that this 200-day moving average, this teal color line, is a nice litmus test for me. It's a nice little touch point for me to do some nibbling buying here. Okay, anywhere on the 200-day moving average, I like it. And you can see exactly now today, we came and touched that 200-day moving average. We do tend to bounce. You saw the last bounce we had here from our 200-day moving average was a very generous move. Let's take the measured move on there. Let's take this candle all the way. That ran up 83% here on Fantom. In fact, this led us running all the way to our all-time highs, really. So you could say 150% move from the last time we bounced off of our 200-day moving average. So the question is, are we going to get the same now? Are we coming now down to our 200-day moving average to collect some support ready for our next explosive move to the upside? So definitely for me, this is a place I continue to nibble at. If we fall below these levels, guys, and let's just show you what those levels are. If we fall to 179, if we fall to 165, if we fall to 126, I'm not saying these things are going to happen. I increase my buys accordingly until I'm in the percentage holding I want for Fantom in my portfolio. Very important. I won't get carried away. If it gets super cheap, I won't let Fantom become 50% of my portfolio and neglect all my other coins. Because remember, if Fantom is falling this way, it's most likely because the whole market's falling that way, including stocks, equities, and therefore Bitcoin. And therefore that means a lot of our favorite altcoins will be falling to the downside. So I'll be using the same methodology for a lot of my favorite altcoins as well. There you go, guys. Hope you guys found this little weekend update useful. I thought I'd take it on a different angle here just to really show you how I'm thinking right now. I'm getting ready for downside and I'm preparing myself. If we run to the upside, there's nothing to do. Why should I spend my time thinking or worrying about green candles? There's nothing to do if there's green candles. Green candles are conviction, right? And you remember, on this channel, we do not have green candle disease. We don't need the market to tell us we're right. We do our research. We look at the sheer size of the Fantom ecosystem and we say, yep, they're building some serious stuff. I like the total value locked. I like the technicals of the project. They've solved the blockchain trilemma. They're the kings of DeFi. They've got a massive ecosystem. They're doing things right. And fundamentally, I think they're undervalued. And therefore, I'm going to top up. Simple as that, right? And again, if you want to understand how I got to my rationale of how Fantom is undervalued and still continues to be undervalued, click the video that's going to come up here on the end card. Make sure you watch that video till the very end and you will have a much, much, much better conviction and understanding in Fantom. Thanks for watching till the very end. Make sure you hit up the like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.